Alright, so far everything that I've shown you has been inside one file, so you might be wondering how well this type checker handles entire projects. And the answer is it handles them pretty well, but you need to have a special plugin for whatever class system you're using. Right now I have one plugin for this class system called Simple Class System. You declare new classes by assigning your class to class new, and you define an init method, which is actually the constructor, and then all your other methods are inserted into the class as well. And all methods are public, and you can add private data members by adding fields to the self table inside the init function. Alright, so now I have two data members called x and y, which are both numbers. So if I go down into this function and I see Intellisense shows that I have two data members, and it knows what type they are. So if I try to assign x to nil, for example, I get an error. If I just assign it to a string, I get an error. Alright, let's see. So, the type checker differentiates between fields and methods. If you try to index a table using a period, you'll get a list of all the fields. If you use a colon, however, you'll get a list of all the methods that have been defined for that type. Let's see. So this kind of prevents people from extracting methods or pre-methods from types. I don't want people to be able to say get a method and then have that method without a self argument applied. So that is why I don't allow you to use a period to index methods. Methods must always be called once they've been retrieved. Let's see. So this class system also handles inheritance. So I'm going to make a new class that inherits from elf. I guess magic elf. And to inherit, you just have to require the parent class. And then instead of typing class : new for the declaration, you type the name of the parent class and then new. So as you can see, this class has inherited methods from the parent class elf. I can call it poke badger. It's also inherited all the fields from the parent class elf, and it knows their types as well. And I can add new private data members as well. So, let's see. So, now that I've shown how to declare classes, I will show how to use the classes. And It's not very complicated. So basically, every custom type that you declare gets named after the module that it appears in. So Lua has a method for converting file names into module names. Anything that's in the same directory as main.lua, the module name is just the same as the file name with .lua removed. So if I want to add a third parameter to my function, and I want it to be an elf, then I can just make a param annotation. Right, now I should be able to now I have access to its methods, which, as I mentioned, are public, but I don't have access to its fields, because in this class system all methods are public and all fields are private. I can also, in this class system, when you inherit from a class, the child class, or instances of the child class, belong to a type that is a subtype of instances of the type that instances of the parent class have. So if I have this elf parameter, I can create a new magic elf and pass it in, and it can be used in the place of an elf. Just to be clear, this is actually a magic elf class. This is an actual elf. I'm going to say, I know. Okay, so to instantiate a class, you just call it. And this gives me a call tip which says that this generates a new magic elf instance. Alright. So now I've got the methods of magic elf, and I should be able to call my function. Let's see. Need a canvas here. Just a sec. So I should be able to do that without getting a type error, which I can. Now, of course, if I were to change this to magic elf, then I tried to create an elf. I would get an error because even though a magic elf is considered an elf is not a magic elf. So subtyping works as expected. Okay, let's see. So anything else? I guess I can talk a little bit about nillable types now. So as I've mentioned, I think that type should be non-nil by default. If you can figure out a way to make a type non-nil, it's probably better to do that than to create a nillable type, or create a variable with nillable type, I mean. But sometimes for quick and dirty programming, you'll want to assign something to nil. So when you do that, let's see. Like, let's say you want every elf to have a nillable reference to some other elf.